Fresco and signed in with your Google password and school ID and all that good stuff, you'll come up to a page like this. And the top right hand corner is your settings, so you can kind of change things like that. But if you go ahead and pick start a new document, I'm going to do current screen size just so you guys can see it well. You can always pick a different size if you'd prefer. It's going to open up a big sheet like this, and this is kind of where we start with all of these things. One good thing anytime you're beginning a completely new program is to go to the help guide, and you can actually take a tutorial of any of these different things. This is really nice, especially if you want to use view gestures if you're not working with a stylus, so you can use different finger gestures to quickly undo or redo things, and also show you some of the cooler features. But we're going to go ahead and start today just by kind of playing around a little bit. So if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, there are lots and lots of icons over here, each with different tools. And I just made them all disappear somehow, and I don't know. Nope, I hit cancel, it's back. That's what happens with digital art. Sometimes you do things and you don't know what happened, so just keep hitting the undo button. So anyways, I'm going to go to this first set of brushes, and this really will show you one of the reasons why I picked this program, is because a lot of the different imagery and brushes that they use really mimic traditional art materials. So here we have a big list of different kinds of brushes, and a brush just means a drawing tool. It's not that they're all brushes. So I'm going to go to dry media, and there's like different cool things like a scratchy pencil, so it kind of looks like a pencil like right on your paper. If you go back in there, I really liked earlier using the graphite, because to me it feels kind of like vine charcoal, and it's kind of neat because you can draw and then go to your eraser tool. There's options for erasers as well, and you can actually do like some negative drawing where you start to erase out parts of the thing that you just drew. Okay. When you don't like anything, just undo, 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 undo. And you can really look through all of these different ones. It's really kind of neat. Say you want to draw with a Conte crayon, okay, which is just kind of like a mix between a crayon and a pastel. And you want to change the color. Over here on the left-hand side, pick the circle that is black. On the outer ring, you can change the color. So maybe I want red. And in the inner square is where you can change from pure color to a tint, to a tone, and to a shade. So find the color of red that you like, and then you can keep drawing. So I have kind of like a darker red here. Just kind of emphasize some of my lines. You can also, under the color, change the opacity in case you want a little bit more of a see-through color. And here it kind of looks like it changes only the lightness of the color, but it actually makes it more or less see-through. You can also look at recent colors, so if you want to continuously go back and forth between 2 or 3 colors, it makes it a little easier for you. The one I really wanted to show you, though, was the next set of brushes down are called live brushes. And there aren't a ton of options here, but I think there's still enough to get us started. So these are brushes that I feel really act the way that paint would. They kind of blend and smear and move. So I picked a watercolor brush and a new color. And you can see even as I go over some of my other lines, it's making things blend out and blur out the way it would if you put watercolor over top of, you know, like a soft line. The other nice thing is if I change my color a little bit, again, it blends with the color that's already there, really acting kind of like a watercolor would. So I'm just kind of keep changing colors so I can show you the next thing too. And anywhere they overlap, they act as colors would in real life. So when my blue goes over my yellow, it makes it kind of green. And there's a couple different watercolor brushes. This one is kind of fun. It's a little bit more of like a speckly brush. So you can see where it's almost like flicking paint onto your canvas. Makes it kind of fun. And then now I want you to go back out to oil. And this has a bunch of different fun ones. So it could act just as a regular oil paint brush, where the texture is going to change now. Instead of being very watery and flowy, it's going to become more like you have thick paint on your canvas and you're blending it together. Another neat one down here is oil paint chunky. Okay. And if I chose a new color, like say I wanted black, when you first put the black on, it goes on a little darker, but then if you blend around it, it's going to pick up the colors that are underneath on the canvas. So play around with it a little bit, see what you can come up with.